Usually, before I go shaking my tits for the press, I like to go see how the professionals do it.
What?
Some might say the chief of police has no business in an institution like this. But in fact, it's the quietest and safest place in town. You won't run into any reporters, nobody gets into any fights, nobody drinks too much, nobody even raises their voice. The place is owned by an elderly gentleman who knows how to keep things under control. That's why I never invite my friends here. I wanted to make an exception for my 60th birthday, but most of my colleagues are young enough to be my sons, and they'd rather just hire prostitutes. Why stare at some boobs when you can take the whole package for yourself? But there's none of that in our club. Even looking too long is considered indecent. You can get an occasional glimpse, like by accident. The rest of the time you just pretend that you're immersed in conversation, or just come by for a drink. Doesn't mean these gentlemen wouldn't want their bald heads smothered in tits. It's just that nobody says it out loud. My younger colleagues might call it hypocrisy, but I call it the good old-fashioned manners. Good manners and leave the rest unsaid. She agrees to unbutton her blouse, and we agree not to pay too much attention. The girls are on a quiet prowl, too. They're looking for a way out of their cramped rooms. Maybe make friends with some wealthy patron with a pacemaker and dentures. Everybody wants something. But we have to control ourselves, or we'll all turn into libertines and prostitutes. Hell, if there weren't any rules, I'd be belching and farting, jumping up on the table, arms held high, yelling, "Shake it, baby!" No
But you're getting
idea how I
tips.
got so barbaric.
This is the police. Was not expecting that. Had to force close it and start the recording really fast. So I apologize if some of it got cut off there. Let me change the graphics here. We don't want it in 4K. Alright, we're back. Once again, sorry about the random, quick, abrupt start there. It just kind of came out of nowhere. A lot of games do that these days, I suppose. But this is the police. I'm not gonna lie, I've watched a few different people play this, like maybe 3 or 4 episodes total of watching this. And the more and more I watched it, the more and more I wanted to play it for the channel. Because it's a really cool game. It's incredibly complex. It's like a management simulator kind of thing, but it's got a lot of story to it as well. And you play an older police chief getting close to retiring, and you have to run your police station in a fictional city. And since I watch stuff, I'm not going to be absolutely terrible at it. I mean, once again, though, as with any of my series, if you're expecting some MLG Pro gameplay, this is not the place. But anyways, I've babbled on enough. Let's get into it here. Day 1, July 15th, Monday. Freeburg Tribune says City Hall confirms rumors of Jack Boyd's resignation. The Golden Berg reports Mayor Rogers, sex maniac. And The Fact reports Mark War 2 to be shown in Freeburg the day before the worldwide premiere by the mayor's personal request. Let's go to work. In our shit car. Rusty on the inside. You don't see that very often. In cars that are still being used, at least.
When I was a kid, my father sometimes told me at bedtime that if I closed my eyes and didn't open them for a long time, all the demons would blow away.
Right.
Yesterday I turned 60, but I still take his advice. Not because I'm sentimental or want to keep the memory of my father alive. I just can't think of a better solution. To get away from all the demons that haunt Freeburg, I'd need to wear a blindfold 24/7. Plus, it's a good idea to act blind when talking to reporters. At least that's what my colleagues say. They're afraid of press conferences. But for me, it's more like a confessional. No matter what lies you tell, You're privately thinking the honest answers. It helps me remember who I am.
Very astute.
The fact that I'll be reading all about it in the papers tomorrow is a small price to pay. Call it penance for the preacher.
Somebody's slopping around.
This is the first time I'm afraid of those answers my mind has given me. Not because I'm mad I'm losing my job. Though it's true, I'm mad as hell. Not because I subconsciously blame everyone else. Though I damn sure do blame them. And don't even ask me what my next move is. I can't imagine. But even that doesn't scare me. The worst thing is, I know I'm gonna have to do something. I'll be damned if I know how far I'll go.
You've got a lot of issues, don't you, sir?
I may have a lot of vices, but predictability isn't one of them.
Right. Hello, everyone?
I learned a long time ago how to drive away the swarming demons. But what do you do when they're trying to rip your soul from your skin? Shutting my eyes tight as I can.
Kiss your ass
The best
goodbye.
solution remains the same. Play blind. I just hope the reporters think I was blinded by the camera flash.
Alright. Good morning. Yesterday, the mayor's office officially announced your resignation. Did this come as a surprise, or did you know about it in advance? What's the difference? Or, what's the difference? What does it matter whether it came as a surprise? My business is my own. Do you already know the name of your successor? No. Of course not, and I don't think the mayor's office knows who it is either. After the recent corruption scandal, your deputy Francis Kendrick said he was looking forward to resigning. If the mayor offered him your position, would that change his mind? Perhaps. Sounds possible, if he thinks the new office would help him serve the city a little longer. Although Kendrick was acquitted, many still believe that the police are cooperating with the mafia. Do you have anything to say about this? Excuse me, but that's a pile of horse shit. The mafia and the police working together? Maybe they're in cahoots with the aliens. The mafia are a bunch of low-life criminals. How about someone ask a real question? Lol. Do you think your personal relationship with the mayor could be the reason behind your retirement? Possibly. It's often difficult to say what guides policy decisions. Thank you. No, thank you! And you, and you.
How's the back today, Mr. Boyd?
Same as
Shitty.
usual.
How did the press conference go?
You
Shitty.
can read about it in the newspapers tomorrow. Don't let anyone in.
Even Mr. Kendrick?
Especially Mr. Kendrick.
Everything is shitty. Oh, gotta take your drugs. Antidepressants or something, I'm sure. Cliche cop. Smoking cigars. Drug problem. Probably an alcoholic. Close to retirement. But as cliche as it gets, but I love it.
The door creak, I knew what face I'd see. When I tell Emma not to let anyone in, there's only one man it could be. Rude, arrogant, no warning. That's Mayor Rogers in a nutshell. White summer shoes, white socks,
Looks like he
white
just has
shorts,
socks on.
white polo shirt, and the white smile of a hungry shark.
He has no
Mayor
face.
Rogers enters every room like he owns the place. Even the floorboards under his feet sound like they're creaking an apology. He never shied away from the odd corruption scheme. It's like the devil walks behind him. In the movies, the villains controlling the city play golf with the judges. Rogers plays tennis with them instead. That's about the only difference.
Jack, I was hoping to catch you after the press conference. You ran away so quick.
There's no smoking at City Hall. No reason for me to hang around.
Well, this morning I signed a ban on smoking in all public buildings. Soon you won't be able to smoke here either.
Soon enough, I won't be here at all.
Ooh, burn.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about.
Don't take my picture, bitch.
People of this city like you, Jack. The police chief of all people. Don't betray that, Jack. Don't get wrapped up in any schemes. Sit nice and quiet for the next 180 days, and you'll be remembered as a hero. That's the only thing that you still have left. Be the hero.
Then how am I supposed to scrape together a retirement fund?
You had a million chances to secure a luxury pension, one that even I would have envied, although I've never set aside any money for myself. I'm not planning to retire anytime soon.
Of course you're not. You seem very full of yourself, sir. Hey, what are you doing? You bitch.
180 days.
You
Quiet,
bitch.
Jack. That's all I need. I don't have any problems with you, and you won't have any problems with me.
If you put out another cigar on my model
I am a new
map,
assistant,
we will
Troy
have a problem.
Starr. If you have something to tell me, call him. But try not to bother him. He's a busy man.
I'll do my best.
And quit smoking up the office. One of my friends will be using it soon.
Of course they will. Pull some favors and get your best friend into office. Oh, hello, Jesus.
Oh, I'm sorry, babe. Only the mayor has this number. Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, is this Troy Starr?
Yes?
Go fuck yourself, Troy Starr.
Ah, that's fantastic. What? Day 2, July 16th, Tuesday. Freeburg Tribune. Francis Kendrick could replace Jack Boyd. Could he, though? Jack Boyd. Only assholes join the Mafia. Jack Boyd. My retirement is my own business. Okay, so I guess I was a little bit of an asshole in that interview. My bad. Maybe we should stop at a garage.
Cops don't use the police station
Get our car
cafeteria
fixed.
anymore. There's some kind of stigma against sitting shoulder to shoulder with your partners. Everybody just takes snacks from the machines or grabs a meal and hammers it down in the corner like a vulture on a corpse. The main thing? Don't look into anyone's eyes. Could be construed as an invitation to sit together. The only people eating here are ghosts.
And there's one now.
My deputy, Francis Kendrick. He recently became one of those ghosts. The subject of one of the most devastating corruption scandals in the history of Freeburg. No evidence to support the accusations, but everyone knows Kendrick's days are numbered. I need that file I asked for. Needs to be ready tonight. Francis didn't say anything, but I understood. Ghosts aren't supposed to talk. Besides, I got a feeling he was already finished.
He's a shell of a man. Would you like to receive tips about how the game works? Show me what you've got. I'm a 60-year-old police chief with a few months away from retirement. I don't need anyone telling me how to do my job. You know what? Show me what you got. I've watched a little bit of this on YouTube, like I said, but I want to make sure I know what's going on. For sure. All officers and detectives possess several important characteristics. Professionalism shows the overall efficiency level of your policeman. A figure around 150 is considered average. Any policeman who falls short of this mark is not entirely reliable, while those whose professionalism is considerably higher than an average are a safe bet, even in a pinch. An individual's level of professionalism may rise and fall over the course of their career. Energy shows how tired your policemen are. The less energy your people have, the less reliable their work, and a policeman who is exhausted might fall asleep at the wheel or make a critical error on the job. Your employees lose 1 point of energy after each working day and restore 1 point after each day of rest. Your employees don't tell you everything. Some additional characteristics are hidden from view. For instance, some cops are lazy and will come up with any reason they can think of to take the day off, while others like to drink too much. You can only guess about these things, but you should be able to draw your own conclusion based on the behavior of your employees. Alright, so we got Kochi, Yancey, Purdy, Tsubaki, Asano, Austin, and Price are our officers on duty, and then we have Mole, DeBrito, and Armstrong as our detectives on duty. Let's start the day. A fucking cigar on my police station on my map. What an asshole. Does everything look kind of blurry to you guys? Responding to calls is the bread and butter of police work. You'll need to send your officers to the crime scene before the timer expires. A mark on the map shows where the call came from. The farther away the destination is from the police station, the longer it will take your officers to travel back and forth, so the longer your people will be tied up and unavailable for upcoming work. Alright, Everyday Mall. The easiest way to determine how difficult a task might be is to check how many units you are allowed to send on the call. The more units you can send, the more serious the alleged threat. Particularly risky missions give you the option of sending SWAT, but they must be accompanied by at least one officer. The number of slots is not the only thing to consider. Any available information from the location of the crime scene to the presence of weapons and so on, all of this could tell you how seriously each case should be taken. A mission might look simple at first glance until it turns into a brutal meat grinder, or a serious call can come in which turns out to be a false alarm. So we got a hit and run at Everyday Mall. A married couple exited the convenience store and saw a man in the parking lot back over a homeless man who'd been digging through a trash can. The driver jumped out to help, but once he saw that he'd hit a bum, he got back in the van very quickly and drove away. So we are going to send Tsubaki and Asano. Go, get it done. Get it done. Nobody murders a bum in my town and gets away with it. Got a fight. The Last Picture Show Theater. Theater manager reports that during a showing of Citizen Kane, a drunk man attempted to force his way into the theater carrying a snowboard decorated with the word Rosebud. When he was denied entry, he violently attacked the cashier and is currently fighting with the theater's security guard. Alright. Aw, Price. I wasn't paying attention to you. Grandma Price in the house. We'll send Kochi and Price on this one. Get it done, folks. Get it done. We got problems to solve here. Good old Freeburg. And now it's raining. Lovely. I love the effects on the map. How you can kind of see reflections from the window, it looks like. Oh, report. Hit and run. What happened? When everything goes well, the police capture the criminals and nobody dies. But the truth is, sometimes the criminals manage to escape. Just try to avoid any dead cops or civilians. Dead cops will hurt your roster, and dead citizens bother the mayor even more than living ones. Offender caught, officers unharmed. Everybody wins. Tsubaki, Asano, good freaking work, folks. Fight. Offender caught, officers unharmed, civilians unharmed. Yes. And Grandma Price is moving up in the ranks, man. It's perfect. It's lovely. Any more calls? Ooh, okay. Armed robbery. 3 teenagers armed with a shotgun robbed a videotape store and made off with their whole collection of adult movies. The criminals fled in a car, but the store manager wrote down the car's license plate. The owner is one Janet Brown, who lives in the suburbs. Alright, this looks like a Yancey and Austin job. Get out there. Uh-oh. Got another fight. Johnson, Jurgen, and Katz Law Firm. A brother and sister clashed with each other over their deceased father's will. According to one of their lawyers, we don't dare separate them, and our security guard is off duty tonight. Alright. We'll send Purdy. Purdy, you're going in alone on this one. No. Purdy and Asano. We'll send them in there together. Purdy and Asano. Get it done, folks. Get it done. Kochi and Price are on their way back. Alright. Going on out. Okay. Assault in the ghetto. A passerby saw some teenagers attack an elderly musician. What the hell? He ran away with his guitar and his money. People have no respect these days. So what we're going to do is we're going to send Kochi and Tsubaki to get the job done. And Price, just because there was an elderly person involved, we're going to send Price. She understands how elderly people work. When your cops aren't sure how to proceed, they might contact you and ask you to handle the situation. Try to deal with whatever comes up, but don't waste all your time on this stuff. You have plenty of other problems on your plate. Okay, proceed. This is the armed robbery in the suburb. Okay. The vehicle in question is parked right outside the Brown residence. The sounds of moaning and loud laughter can be heard through the living room window. Are they using the adult movies in there? Mm-hmm. I would assume. Knock on the door, open up police, turn on the siren and loudspeaker, and shout that the house is surrounded. Sneak into the house through an open window. Yeah, okay. Let's do that. Offender caught, officers unharmed. Boom! Yancey and Austin. Good on you guys. Fucking fantastic. Getting shit done. Report. Offender caught, officers unharmed. Boom. Purdy and Asano. Good work. Now we just need the elderly musician deal to get sorted out. I'm sure Price will get it handled. She knows how the elderly life works. I'm talking out my ass. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Civilians unharmed. Look at Kochi. Kochi's getting up there in the world right now. Alright, let's close it. Alright. And that's it. That's day one. Done deal. Alright, cool. If you think you'll need a couple of extra hands tomorrow, you can order any cop to come in and work overtime. But if they're working flat out, they'll be much more exhausted. Somebody's bound to make a mistake. Okay. Alright. Got the all-star team of Shift B. What about Shift A? We got the superstar Stovall here, and everyone else just kind of eh. And then you got Price's husband, Grandpa Roy, over here with 5. And Birch Jr. is not that much better, to be honest. But his dad is decent, but he's assuming he's much younger than Birch Sr. But he is just shit as his job, isn't he? And Shift B is very well balanced. There's only one person with under 100. And this one, half the shift is under 100. Let's end the day then, shall we?
Used to be when I asked Kendrick to stay late at the office, he liked to grumble and crack wise. Nowadays, he doesn't have the strength for it. Slumped shoulders, blank stare, wrinkled skin. The past few weeks, I don't hardly recognize my old friend. In his younger years, he reminded me of a gallant royal officer in an old Kipling story. Kendrick isn't just crumbling under the weight of the public pressure, but from the shame of it all. Internal Affairs raided the library he inherited from his grandfather, hoping they'd find buckets of cash stashed in the pages. Heard about the look on his face, the fearless policeman standing helpless in horror. I've known Francis for 30 years. The past 20 years, he's played loose with the law. And I know that at a certain point, every stolen dollar brings more misery than anything else. Probably sounds crazy, but I sympathize with the guy. What can I do? Your friends are your friends, and these are the waters we swim in.
It's very poetic.
Called all of the people on that list today. Now they know you're in business. So you could get a call from any of them. You don't need to worry about any of them. I've cleared them all.
And what kind of business are we talking here?
It's nothing too serious, just like you asked. Should be just a few small favors. Payments will vary depending on the situation and who you're dealing with. How
Fair
much
enough.
are you looking to earn?
$500,000.
That's a nice
Half a
chunk of
million?
change
Why
there.
not a whole million?
Because everybody wants to take $1 million. Figured I'd try something different.
Ah,
$500,000 in 180 days? Well, you could earn it all above board if you netted all the big fish and hit all your bonuses.
Never knew you for a fisherman.
Well, you never got into my business, and I'm not trying to get into yours. But be careful about bringing in any other cops. Sooner or later, they'll put the finger on you. And one more thing, Jack. I remember what you said, but I should probably add one more name to that list. Christopher Sand.
bum bum bum.
Christopher G. Sand. Everyone knows the name, but few could tell you who he is. The old man stays away from the spotlight. Always wears old-fashioned jeans
Must be
and
him
knitted
there.
sweaters.
Glass
Gives to
of wine.
charity. Rarely attends social events. An avid hunter, I hear. Even dabbles in poetry. You'd never guess he's the head of the oldest and most powerful gang in the city. Goes back as far as his great-grandfather. And Sand is strict about following the old rules. He rarely involves himself in commonplace murders and robberies. Hardly needs to intimidate anyone to get his point across. The people who work for him each have their sphere. They provide protection where needed, even work with the authorities when they want to make a deal. Meanwhile,
Good old-fashioned
Sand
mafia.
pulls the strings without getting his hands dirty. People sometimes mistake his quiet approach. A couple years ago, an arms dealer decided to expand its business without asking permission, and his whole family paid the price.
Jesus.
In 4 weeks, Sand killed 31 people. Old men, women, even a few teenagers. And Sand's people made sure every paper reported it. Frank,
Hardcore
I don't
old
want
man,
to
isn't
hear
he?
you say that name again.
Jack, please listen to me. I'm in with these guys.
We
Sure you
agreed,
are.
Frank. That's not the kind of business I'm into. I don't go there. Never have, never will.
So good old Jack Boyd is on the straight and narrow, apparently. Okay, so we're gonna leave it here then, because we got a lot of, it's like an information overload this episode. So I don't want to pile too much on. We're getting coffee stains all over our papers, which means we're getting sloppy. We need to stop. So from this point on, maybe next episode I'll try doing 2 days in one. See how long that episode ends up being. If it ends up being more than a half an hour long, then maybe I'll have to stick to 1 day an episode. But I don't know. If you guys have an opinion on that one way or the other, if you want to have 1 day or 2 days, if you don't care how long the episode is, if you'd like it to be shorter, any and all suggestions are always welcome, as I've said many times before. But this is a new series. I like this game a lot. I think it looks fantastic, and so far it's proving to be very interesting. Let me know what you think. But anyways, remember, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button down below. If you really enjoyed it, make sure to hit that subscribe button also down below for more content from me. And feel free to leave me a message letting me know what you, or a comment or a message. Let me know what you thought, what you liked, what you didn't like, and any suggestions on games that you would like to see me play in the future. And last but most certainly not least, if this video just blew your mind, then most definitely be sure to share this video with your friends, your family, your loved ones, random people you meet on the street or the internet, whatever floats your boat, and I will see all of you in the next one. See you later.